Yeah, and we all the way there.
Right.
But hello, everyone can hear you now. Hooray!
Ah.
Don't
Hello.
don't at the audience.
Hello.
Okay,
Ah.
I guess we could at them. They don't need
Oh.
this. But yeah. Hello one and all. You may notice that we're no longer on the performance check on Twitch. We have kicked that channel to the curb for the time being. So we're moving the Curse of Strahd Tale, the Darkest Faerie, over to my channel for the meantime. If you're also looking at is it the Tragedy at the Shatter Isles? Is your game?
It's Tragedy and Triumph, yeah.
Tragedy and Triumph. We always keep saying the wrong thing. That is over on the Paladin Bells channel for now. And whenever Empire Blood comes back, it could be on Softly Sage. Or the channel will come back alive. Who knows? We'll fuck around and find out in the future whenever that happens. Meantime, this is a chilling tale known as gothic horror that meets a little bit of whimsy, some nightmare, your morbid curiosity. A story that takes place that once belonged in the realm of Ulstea, which is a homebrew world that Jester and I have created over the years. If you want to find other videos of the story, they're all in order on our YouTube channel. Feel free to check them out. Otherwise, hi, it's me. If you think you like Curse of Strahd and you like the Raw edition, all those expectations, they're out the window. This is a whole new story of Curse of Strahd. It's more fairy tales. It's lighter, it's kinder, it's queer, whatever you want to do. And there's a lot more fairy tale elements into it. I'll be your beloved host for this tale of horror, guided by my cast, who I will lovingly call the Broads throughout this time and story and what have yous. So, of course, we're going to go to our Broads. They're going to introduce themselves and who they're playing tonight. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Yay!
I can go first. Hi, my name is the Paladin Bell. I stream on the Paladin Bell here on Twitch, and you can. And I will be playing Allegra de Lamont this evening, the Oath of Devotion Paladin. And I will popcorn over to Celeste.
Hello, hello. I am Celeste, otherwise known as Sage the Softcubus, otherwise Softy Sage, sometimes just Sage. And you can find me over on Sage the Softcubus. You used to be able to find me over on Performance Check, but that channel is under an indeterminate hiatus. That channel's in limbo. We're not talking about it. And today I am playing Katerina Durst Wachter, a Barovian woman roughly in her late 20s, has recently gussied up her look and ditched her tattered robes, black hair with white streaks, covered in runic tattoos, has kind of a port wine stain on the right side of her face, and the eye is fetid and green and necrotic. And by all accounts, should be the edgiest character here. But she is an absolute sweetheart who cares so much for all of the other people around her. And I will pass it over to my definitely not girlfriend, Lottie.
Hi, my name is I and Jester. You can call me either or. I go by. I must use their own pronouns. He, him, it. Either one is fine. Sorry, I'm reveling over information so much. Tonight I am playing Lottie, who is a reborn Eladrin warlock wizard. Kind of like a big old mess of parts and things. Goes by she, her. It is very normal. I tossed the mic in a panic over at Lynx.
Hi, I'm Lynx. You can find me as Quarklynx here on Twitch or wherever else you socialize your medias. I am fine with any pronouns, and tonight I'll be playing Ra. They're our sad little meow meow who is somehow also highly sought after. They're a half-elf rogue / ranger. And I think it's just Creepy left.
Hi, I'm Creepy. I cannot be found. I am playing Elizabeth Porcelain, who is very happy to be involved and will be possibly getting a makeover today.
Ooh.
I give the mic back to our DM.
I just love, I cannot be found. Don't
I
look
cannot
for
be
me.
found. You cannot find me.
That's why I didn't do a shout out. No, just I've done it for you. Stop it.
I didn't see that.
It's right above it. It's right above Lynx. I went in order. Beep, 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 beep. I bite you. Lottie dies tonight. Not really.
Yeah, kill her, coward. You won't.
I
Kill her a
can.
second time.
Do you understand what dangerous forces are in the tower in this castle?
I'm not a coward.
The brides won't kill you, but other things in the castle could. Yeah. Hello, I'm the DM. I am Abby and or Poppy. You can find me here on this channel and all other forms of social media under A Petite Poppy. Unless I forgot to change it, then oopsie doopsie, that's on me, Scoob. I'm your tricksy little fae who is puppeteering as a DM and will be, I don't know, telling a story and having ball shenanigans and praying that my beloved cast won't give me a headache. In love. Who wants to do a recap? A shmecap?
I believe I volunteered for it this
Yes,
time.
please. Go for it.
Alrighty. So we found ourselves at the dinner within Castle Ravenloft. Strahd appears, is presenting femininely, introduces the night by conducting a toast. There's a little bit of a weird energy in the room out the gate. There is an arrangement of different fancy meals that are served one after the other. I rehearsed this in my head and then now I'm fumbling it. And that's just how it goes. It's just how it goes, folks. Strahd goes over the general plan for the ball, congratulating Ismark on his ascension to Burgomaster, congratulating Kirill Stoyanovich, who is going to be the Burgomaster of Immel, which was not information Allegra was particularly happy to receive. And congratulated us for handling the situation in Barovia Village, Barovia. Allegra makes a request to restore the destroyed settlement Harmonia and erect a temple in the name of Mother Night there. Strahd questions if Allegra is worthy and ready to essentially become a burgomaster and lead a village. Let's see. There was so much that happened, and these notes are so long. Thank you, Lynx, my bestie. These are so thorough, and that's very good.
Thank
Except
you.
for a recap. Because if I read all this, it'll take 20 minutes.
Mhm.
So I have to, like, spark notes, find the most important information.
Truly. That's why I
Truly,
have it
truly.
in tiered bullet points.
Yes. There is a lot of conversation that happens between the party and the brides, between the party and Strahd. Katarina remains mostly quiet and is just taking in all of the information. And then Strahd makes a proposition to the party. We learn that there is a rat among Strahd's coterie of consorts, and that one of the members of Strahd's inner circle seeks to betray her. And it was propositioned to the party that we seek out and give up this individual. In return, we would receive a personalized reward. Most of the party did not seem particularly interested in this arrangement. But very notably, Beth did make it known that she will seek out this individual on her own accord and may then, of her own volition, decide to officially enter into an arrangement with Strahd, which Strahd was overall fine with. Eventually the dinner was dismissed and the party got ushered into a different room to get all of their outfits for the night tailored and prepared. There was a lot of flirting that happened. There was a moment of tension between Allegra and Are, which Kat kind of served as a mediator for, and bid Are to go have a conversation with Allegra about the confines of Allegra's oath and what it means that Are was debating going off on their own without advising the party. Everybody got gussied up in their fancy little dresses. We got announced for the ball, and that's where we left off.
Thank you. Round of applause. Round of applause.
Clap, 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 clap. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
Thank
on,
you.
hold on.
Thank you. Celeste, you may add a point of inspiration to your character sheet if you need it.
It might come up.
Um. Okay, so I think the other tidbits. The only thing I remember that vaguely stuck in my head was that RA did escape at one point to run after Strahd to get more details on information.
Right.
Yeah. And then Beth doing a really cool job of circumventing Strahd's wording on making sure everyone stays safe. And Strahd was like, fine, you'll stay safe. Yeah. This is episode 20. We're finally in the we've been in the double digits, but we're in the 2 X's for the Roman numerals on the splash screen, and I'm very happy. I can stop doing things now. And this is gonna be called A Ball for All. Since you left towards the end of the flirting episode, Creepy, is there anything that you wanted Beth to do while she is getting gussied up?
Is there a mirror?
Yes.
I think she would just... She would look into it.
Okay.
But I don't think she would say anything yet. She's just trying to inform her mother to keep an eye out. Yes. She might need her later.
So you're
She
just
doesn't want to call her yet.
Gotcha, but you're like telepathically going like, hey, keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the most you would get in response is that the mirror kind of frosts over.
That's okay. That's good.
She doesn't like write like a little message going, okay. It's just like you notice that her presence is there, so the mirror kind of frosts over.
Beth draws a heart in the frost.
Okay. Yay. There's no response to it. The heart just kind of stays there for a little bit. And then if like any of the other party members go to look at the mirror, it completely like fades away.
Okay. That's fine.
Anything else particular?
Nothing from me.
Okay. So for brevity's sake, as Celeste mentioned in the recap, you guys were guided from the ballroom by Escher himself, who RA kind of looped an arm through his and went, we're dancing together, and Escher just started talking RA's ears off. And you were brought into a long hallway that led into a set of doors, and when you open it up, you'd see the other 3 brides, Leithmilla, Anastasia, and Valenta, and then Strahd in a more masculine presenting form at the doors, or in the large, like, waiting room-esque place. There is 2 double doors, and Leaf is, like, at the edge of the double door, like, has a hand on the handle whenever ready, and, Strahd kind of clears his throat, thanking you all for coming in, and going, before we start the ball proper, Valenta, if you would. And Valenta waves a hand, and a bunch of cards kind of like apparate and get floated towards each of you. And Strahd announces going, write how you want to be presented to the audience downstairs. Title, name, anonymous, whatever you would like. You are all going to be announced in pairs, whoever you are going to ideally dance with first. And of course, quills are given too. I forgot about the quill part.
GM, I cannot for the life of me find Allegra's middle name.
Amara.
Thank
Right?
you. Yes.
Yes.
I believe so. That's her. I believe that was what we decided her mother's other lover was
Yes,
named.
yes. That's the snake mom. Ba-ba. And yeah, you see Irina very kind of happily kind of like loops a little statement over her for her card, and then looks over at Ismark and kind of like, I think he just wrote Ismark, and then she gets he gets a nudge to the side, and then he sighs, crosses it out, and writes like a proper like introduction.
Shoot. Okay, let me.
And it could be
Yeah.
something simple. You could just put your name. You could just be like, now presenting, Allegra, and then that's it.
Where am I?
I'm dancing with Ludmilla, right?
Yes, yes.
Can Beth just write Ludmilla's name on the card?
Twice?
Do it.
Yeah, you can write. Okay, so you're writing Ludmilla.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like signing into like an online game where some people are putting long names and some wise guy's like a guest.
Shut up.
Is that what RA's genuinely doing it? Because I'm fine with
It
that.
takes them like a solid 10 minutes to decide what to write down. But yeah,
Oh.
they just decide on that.
What's the delay? Ari had to think really hard for a second.
RA's got so
RA
many
had to
names and
pick-
titles in their brain, and then saw all the cards getting brought to leave and panicked.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Babe, what do you want? Can you write cats down for me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless it's also a witch.
Ooh.
I have Ludmilla, a guest, Charlotte Johansson, Allegra's
Yeah, because it's
full
a
name.
masquerade, right?
Yes, but you're also
Okay.
notable people.
That's fair.
Most people
I
being
think
like, I'm gonna be
Ludmilla and a
secret.
guest really kills me. Poor Leaf.
Ludmilla and a guest.
Technically, it will go Escher and a guest.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just out here being like, it's not my full name, so I'm really not worried about anything.
I will write down Madame Durst, and that's what I will be.
Okay.
When Beth sees Ludmilla, she's gonna turn into the mirror image of Ludmilla, not exactly the same. Just to walk out as.
You do this. Are you doing it the moment you are presented, like you go out the door, or are you doing it now where everyone can see?
As soon as we link arms.
So you would link arms when you exit the door, and then you would
Yeah.
part and go down the stairs and then conjoin at the bottom.
At the top of the stairs
At the
before.
top of the stairs?
Yeah.
Okay, when announcing. Okay, so great. The other brides cannot react.
Yeah.
Cool. That's what I wanted to know. Alright. I'm gonna move my Raisin Canes, not sponsored. Unless.
Not sponsored stream.
Raising Canes, please sponsor us.
I'm just a poor girl who loves chicken so much. But yeah.
You're one of the only fast food restaurants that didn't donate to fascists or is funding a genocide. Please,
Fair.
Canes.
Okay. Jiggy aside, is there anyone in particular who wants to go first in being announced, or do we want to roll dice?
I believe, wasn't Escher gonna go first?
Yes, I could do it. How I have it written is definitely Ari and Escher first.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool. Okay.
Do you
Here.
want me to re-describe people's outfits as they are introduced in slightly briefer terms?
If you would want, that's up to you.
'Cause I know Creepy missed that.
That is up to
Although
you.
you have seen the illustrations, so
Yeah,
I
which
have.
I am actually going to put that on the splash screen for now,
ooh.
so everyone can see it.
Although I don't know if I described everyone's masks. Were we gonna do that later, or did I do that? No, I think I did describe the masks. Never mind.
Oh yeah, you read out everybody's outfits.
Oh yeah, we're totally fine then.
Yeah,
No
you read out
problem.
everyone's outfits, and then at the end, when you guys were, like, there's like a little box that you guys could pick masks out. That's where, or I think they were just handed out by Gertruda, who was like, "Here you go." And then I remember Ismark making a comment about really a wolf mask.
Mm-hmm. Wolf got a wolf, bird got a bird, cat got a cat.
This is typecasting in some way. Do they have something to tell us?
I think they've said all they need to say.
Yeah. Okay. So reading first. The first round of dances is going to be Ra and Escher. I have Kat and Valenta. We're going to do Allegra and Anastasia, Lottie and Ismark, Beth and Ludmilla, which leaves Irina dancing with Strahd.
Yikes.
Womp
Can
womp.
Strahd see her? I'm assuming yes.
Yes.
But
Yes.
will other people know that he's dancing with somebody? Or will it look silly?
It will to the general NPC populace would not recognize Irina as Irina.
I
Like
see.
we'll hear the name and then people are gonna be like, that doesn't look like. Everyone's gonna
Okay.
have a
Like
different
the Cinderella
perception.
effect.
Yeah, everyone's gonna have a different
Yeah.
perception on what Irina looks like, which is probably gonna be the talk of the ball.
Love that.
Unless they actively try to search for her. It's like, oh my god, there's this beautiful woman in a large ball gown who is just dancing with a bunch of people, but I can't name a face. I can hear her laugh, yada yada yada. She's gonna be the ghost of the ball. Oh my gosh. Don't worry, Irina will have fun with that.
Yeah.
Unless someone wants to swap and Shaw doesn't want to dance with Irina first.
I mean, Allegra would dance with Strahd.
I will not
Making-
allow Strahd to be danced with first.
That's fair.
Making Irina the center of attention at Strahd's big gathering, I think, is very funny, and we should stick with it.
Okay. Yeah.
It is funny. Especially in her gigantic froofy floofy gown. I'm picturing that thing swallowing Strahd's
Yeah.
legs.
Yeah. Okay. So Leaf comes over and grabs all the little title cards from you. Doesn't even bother to look, just kind of like puts them together in. Well, he has to look, because he has to pair them up so he knows who goes with who. And you could see this old man. There's a small little smug smile at the corner. Like he's trying to fight the little quirk of his lips. But his brows do raise up just a little bit. And he nods his head, looks over to Strahd, who gives the affirmation. And you guys kind of line up in like double pairs. According to who's going to be announced first, second, third, yada yada yada. And Leaf opens the door wide, and just from where you guys thought you guys were on the first floor when you arrived Castle of Ravenloft, and suddenly you are on like a balcony that these double doors lead out to, and there are two we looked up what the words these staircases were. But they're two curling staircases that recede from upwards, downwards, and they just kind of do like a small little inner curve towards each other. And Leaf
An imperial staircase?
Yes, thank you. So imagine imperial staircase, beautiful marbled staircase that is decked out with like garland and different kinds of flowers that are found around Barovia. Most of them are muted in colors because there's not a lot of bright vibrancy, so you don't have like a bunch of yellow flowers or red roses unless they were dyed accordingly. So to Allegra, most of it you would see is the morning glories and the evening glories being presented on the garlands. And let me see. I should look at the map. Yeah, and then there's like a red carpet that goes down both of those staircases. Leaf steps forward, kind of does like a conductor's hand movement to lower the music, and you guys can hear like a low hush of all the guests who are varying like classes of middle, upper, and lower. Of course, and you can see from the disarray of just like outfits and how people are being dressed. Most of them are kind of on the outskirts at like large tables that are decked out in different fine pieces of art, along with food that were served similarly to what you guys were dining on. There's a bunch of just unseen servants that are kind of wandering around with plates. Very dangerous to have unseen servants do this, but you know, they're walking around with a plate to indicate where they are, handing out glasses of wine, champagne, water if some people need it, because there's a couple of kids that are at the ball. Can't give kids wine. And a bunch of just like staff members who are on the cusp of being undead but also being alive, that are either decked out in small armors or in fanciful outfits that dictate state of like military state, I guess, between the guard systems. And everyone kind of goes into a hush. There is a man's kind of standing at the bottom of the stairs with a bunch of nobles, and they all look up to see Leaf enter towards the edge of like the balustrades and kind of looks down and clears his throat. And with the wave of his hands, he makes his voice a little bit louder for the old man to announce that the beginning of the ball is starting. It was like, thank you all for coming to a ball we haven't had in a very long while. One, to celebrate 2 upcoming burgomasters, and to end the year off and start anew. At this hour, we would like to start the ball by presenting our guest of honors, as well as announcing the lord of the land and the start of the ball once they arrive down the stairs. You all can feel free to pick yourselves into partners and go ahead and gather to the dance floor. Otherwise, the estate is yours to roam in. Please do be careful. If you get lost, feel free to call for one of the servants and they will guide you back here, safe and sound. He waits a little moment, kind of conducts, and there's like a low musical like notes starting to start up. And he clears his throat and goes, presenting first, Escher von Preschlau, former adventurer and newly appointed bride of Lord Hansarovich. And presenting their partner, and then he looks down at the note card, a guest. And the music doesn't stop or anything, but he just kind of announces it. And Escher does give you a look as like you guys are brought out. Everyone can see your glory, and then Escher takes one side, you take the other, and you kind of meet back up to interlace to join the dance floor. But Escher goes, Really? A guest?
Is it wrong?
No. It's kind of funny, though.
A little.
And you guys are ushered to the dance floor. He clears his throat, makes a comment that the young folk are very funny and witty at times. Not knowing what else people have written on their cards. And Kat, you feel Valenta like lace her arm around yours to pull you forward. As Leaf goes, presenting next, Valenta Popovsky, the first mage founded and studied in the House of Ravenloft. And they're so sorry about that. And their dance partner, Madame Durst. And you two just kind of walk out, go down the staircase. And Valenta would make a remark when you two join. Kind of shoots Escher a look of like, really? Before turning towards you, and goes, "Is that how you want to be addressed for the rest of the night, or just the audience?"
There are some individuals in attendance who I don't want to make acquaintance with tonight, and that moniker helps me hide from them. You may still refer to me as Kat.
And you see she nods, her head, goes to, before, like, properly moving to the dance floor, she does ask you if you would rather lead or do you want her to lead for the dance.
I think when it's very funny because of the metaphor that I've used with RA in the past. I think Kat is most practiced in following her dance partner. So Valenta can lead.
Okay, and she gives you the really smug, or kind of coy smile of like, all right, don't fuck this up now. And you could just feel the buzz of, like, magical energy just kind of leaving her fingertips as, like, hand positions are placed on your form. Who is next? This is next. Allegra, you are brought forth with Anastasia. Instead of, like, all the other brides are kind of decked out, except Escher, he's in a proper suit. All the other brides are decked out in outfits that are very bright and showy. Not as grandeur as Lottie, or not Lottie's outfit, as Irina's, but something on a similar scale to Lottie's. Very long dress that's kind of a little bit exposing and has a lot of fabric that makes it a little awkward to dance. Anastasia wearing something that's like a deep, bright red wine. Ludmilla wearing more of like a foresty green, and then Valenta wearing a bright yellow dress. But Anastasia offers you her prosthetic arm and apologizes if you feel cold.
Allegra will take it and smile and go, "It is fine. I am used to practicing with my sister who is similarly cold."
You see she smiles and goes, "Well, I hope you and she have a great time at the ball."
Well, thank you. I hope to dance with her at some point this evening.
You see she nods and she makes sure that you see that she has a look in her eyes that it's just like, okay, I am going to make sure this will happen.
She will smile and go, "I do hope you don't mind, but when they announce us, I am going to flourish my wings. It may make a bit of a show."
You see she smiles and goes, "That's fine. Honestly, I was expecting Escher to slide down the railing at this point." We all need a little fun.
Exactly.
And then when you guys are brought to the balcony, Leaf clears his throat and goes, presenting Lady Anastasia Gwilliam, the first bride to Lord Zarovich, and current head leader and knight of House Ravenloft. And then you see Anastasia just kind of does like the little petite, like little hand wave to the audience as she goes down her stair, and then as he states yours, he goes, and then as her partner, Allegra Amara Delamont, priestess to Mother Knight of Kresik.
Allegra will like flourish her wings and almost kind of pop into the air with it, and will almost float down the stairs.
And you see, you get like a rush of just people hear Kresik, they hear your name, and then they see the wings, and they immediately know who you are.
Mhm.
So you get the populace kind of like gasp, and some kids are clapping their hands excitedly as they're seeing a literal angel fall from the top floor onto the ground before them. And Anastasia does make a little comment going, "You are a show-off."
I try.
And then she'll take your arm and bring you to the dance floor. I'm not entirely sure. Lottie, how do you and Ismark become dance partners? Do you just feel the anger that he's just sending off to Strahd and Irina?
Yeah, I think it's also sort of everyone else is paired off and it's just us situation. And it's like I'm looking up to him and holding out her arm, inquisitively.
You see, he does take it, and he goes, "You know, I don't like this. Not dancing with you. Don't like what is." And you see
No,
that
you're
he's just
fine.
directing his gaze towards Strahd, who is talking to Irina, and she's giving a very like not obvious panic of like help me, but is just very politely. It's a polite uncomfortableness.
Yeah, I think Ladiel's nod, understandingly. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. And you get brought over to the front as like Beth, Ludmilla, Strahd, and Irina are left in the back, and Leaf clears his throats as you guys are presented forward. Presenting Ismark Kolyanovich, burgomaster of the village of Barovia and huntsman of the wilds. And presenting their dance partner for the evening, Charlotte Yohanatov. It's very awkward. Ismark kind of gives you a pat on the shoulder, like as a good luck, even though you're just going downstairs.
Yeah, she gives him a beaming smile in return.
Yeah. He looks almost as comfortable as like people are staring up at him, so he quickly goes down the steps a little bit faster than you did.
Yeah.
And kind of waits down there unexpectedly, but he does offer a hand.
Yeah, I think as she's walking down the stairs, Lottie is more of like, I don't think she's ever, to her memory, has never been in a situation like this before, so and it's just sort of like taking in the sights.
Yeah.
So would have been slower than him anyway. I'll take his arm. Curtsy? Is it?
Curtsy, yeah. What is your most what's the emotion that is on Lottie's? Because she's in summer, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's incredibly excited and also insanely curious about literally everything going on right now.
Okay. So pick a color that would portray excitement for me.
That's a good question. Pink?
Pink? So as you go down the stairs, all of the evening and morning glories that are on the garlands to you are exuded, like they're absorbing your energy, and they have a slight pink tinge to their tips of the flowers.
An unintentional flourish, which I don't even think she realized
Yeah.
she's doing.
Exactly. I was gonna say you have like little flowers growing, but it's marble stonework. So they could, you would be destroying the stonework. So instead, the flowers kind of absorb your natural energy, your fey diluted energy, and kind of turn slightly pink.
Yeah.
Which are going to be very unique for anyone who collects them at the end of the night.
Yeah, I think she, like, probably catches it in the corner of her eye and goes, oh. Interesting. Yeah, I think looks at his mark, goes, were those that color before?
No, very bluntly, he looks at you and goes, you did that.
Oh.
Let's just go on the dance floor before people notice.
Okay.
They look great. I'm not scaring you. They just look great, but you obviously did that.
Yeah,
You're
she's
very
nuts.
bright right now.
Yeah. She's nuts.
Okay.
Keeps the check on moving.
And then, you see there's like an internal struggle with getting Ludmilla out of the door first. And Strahd just kind of gives her a look, and she rolls her eyes and goes, "Come on, little one."
Little one?
Little as in youngin.
I see. Well, all eyes will be on you, so it'll be quite fun to see how they react. You look very nice.
And she gives you like a wolfish grin. Not exactly understanding what she meant. She just heard a compliment and just took it in stride. But as like you both exit, I believe that's when you do your glamour.
Right before they walk through the door, Bethel winked to Strahd over her shoulder.
Yeah.
And then turn into Ludmilla.
And like exact kind of proportions, you would say? Or you want to be a little shorter, a little bit taller?
The goal is to be identically mirrored down to the way she walks down the stairs.
Okay. You're just in your outfit and she's in her outfit.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And you see, Leaf doesn't has his back again to you guys as he's announcing to the the grand audience below, and he goes, presenting, Ludmilla Stoyanova. That's her name. The first druid of the wilds, and the wolf of the land, and presenting their partner. And then Leaf looks down and goes, Ludmilla? He turns to you, and kind of gets like the whole audience to look over. And then you see a bunch of people are looking over to you, and then looking over to Ludmilla. Not understanding what is going on, or if this is another like fanciful magic trick or anything. So people hold their breaths as you go down the stairs, almost in perfect synchronicity, hoping that the glamour will drop or in its illusion. But you just keep it in stride as Ludmilla just kind of links an arm with yours, and then looks at you up and down and be like, "All right, you did say interesting."
Is that all eyes on you?
That you did. Okay, let's see if you can dance like me then.
I'm sure I'll keep up.
And then the music goes to a lull as like the most of the rest of y'all are all at the dance floors. And Leaf clears his throat a bit and goes, and finally, for our grand, what's the word I'm looking for? For their grand entrance and the start of the ending of the year. Everyone, please meet the Lord, Strahd von Zarovich, the Ancient, the land of Barovia, and their partner, Irina Koliana, sorceress and beacon of the village of Barovia. And you see, Strahd comes out. He does his best to go down the stairs a little bit, a little bit behind Irina to let Irina take the full kind of like audience of, very pretty woman in a large ball gown who is fighting her way to get down the stairs. But when she gets to the bottom of the step, Strahd disappears in a flash of smoke, comes down to the step, and offers a hand to her that she, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but fortunately takes. Fortunately takes. And those two are led. The crowd kind of disperses as they are pushed to the middle of the ballroom. And Strahd waves a hand in the air to signify the music to get louder. And then very loudly proclaims, "And I all hope you have a wonderful time for the ball of the end of the year. You may commence." And the music picks up, and there's a loud flourish of different kinds of chatter amongst people. In the ballroom itself, it feels very claustrophobic just because there's so many people around in the area.
Oh.
Yeah, it is inviting everyone in the village of Barovia who can come to it, no matter social rankings they are. There's a lot of people on either the ballroom floor or on the outskirts of it and are bleeding out into the garden to the left or into the hallways to the right. Or vice versa. Hallways to the left, floor to the right.
You said it's claustrophobic, though?
Potentially, yeah. I would say there's a lot of bodies for at least the first dance of the night.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
Balls are always claustrophobic. As someone,
Yeah.
having been there, having been to a good few, right when it starts, it's always like you have a very hard time doing any form of dance other than very close together, as to not bump into other people unless everyone is doing a uniform style of dance.
At least for the first one, mostly, because everyone's gonna be like, we have to dance while the Lord is dancing, basically. Not knowing that the Lord is gonna continuously dance and intermingle with the populace. For the rest of the night, nor do these poor common folk understand that the ball is gonna stretch all night. For the people who are running it are very much not living and have the stamina to keep going. But yay! Okay, dancing time, question time, interrogations. So we're gonna do a mechanic that made up. For her, kind of ball. Where you guys, with your dance partners, especially with the NPCs, to each other, you don't have to make these checks unless you want to, like you're hiding some deep secrets from each other. But basically how it's gonna go is that you guys will be allowed to ask about 3 questions to the person you're dancing with. And you will make a check to see how well the dance is going, and then how much you will impress them with your dancing, basically. I would do the insight thing that Cell had. What was it? It's, make an insight against their deception. I've lost her. She's gone. There's no Katarina Walker in this household.
Marina shall never return.
Yeah, she'll never return. Her attention absorbed. Yeah, you can't hear her audience, but she's gone.
Oh, I was double muted. Yeah, Cat just phased out of existence.
Valence's dancing with no one. So tragic. No, I was asking about your dancing mechanics.
Oh yes, the ones I did for my Curse of Strudel.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on here. I have the mechanics somewhere. Okay. I'll just copy and paste it in here. Would you also like me to read it out?
That's okay.
Teacher, do you want me to read it out loud?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank
So you can ask up to 3 questions of your dance partner during your dance and make a separate roll for each question asked. It is a contested roll between your roll and your dance partner's insight. The way I ruled it is I won't tell you whether or not your dance partner succeeded the insight roll or not. They will just say the information that is relevant to what they rolled. They will simply answer the question based on whether or not they passed or failed the insight check, and how that plays out depends on the question asked. So if you are like trying to press them for information and they catch wise to that, they could withhold information, they could choose to like tell you half-truths, they could choose to divert the conversation away from that topic, so on and so forth. I almost like to describe it as like social combat. It's like, oh, you're trying to coax information out of me, and if I catch wise to that, I might not let that happen. Or if it's information that doesn't trouble me to part with, I might just tell you anyways. And it's very fun. So I will post that here.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes. And you guys could use whatever skill is best used. If you want to use your performance as a way of persuasion, you may, making persuasion checks. Making you seem more like using basically your best stats, your best rolls as your advantage to basically get some information out of the NPC that you're dancing with. And you guys could do it with each other. Like, I know Kat and Allegra want to dance with each other. So if Kat wanted to press something that Allegra keeps hidden as a character, and you decide, oh yeah, no, we're gonna make this an insight roll kind of situation, you can. But for PCs dancing with PCs, you guys don't have to abide to these rules. Unless you want to for spice, drama.
For fun.
Yeah.
For fun and flavor.
Yeah. And because of the spice and the drama, I did not allow you to counter with an insight check of your own. The information the NPC gives you is the information the NPC gives you, and you can take it at face value, you can choose to be suspicious of it, so on and so forth.
You can use your next question to grill it a little bit more, or after the dance, you can go find them and be like, excuse me, what was that about? Clarity, please?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm
I
saying,
have a question.
yes, you may have several questions.
I have one for you.
Okay.
So your vampires, they're fae, sylph kind, right? Something like that.
They're fae-coded, yes.
Fae coded or fae?
They are... One of them is obviously mostly a fae that just got vampirism.
Mm-hmm.
But like Ludmilla is the strongest strain of fae in the group,
Mm-hmm.
being a Huldra. Oh, and Escher. Sorry, I forgot Escher is a changeling. Huh,
Oh,
silly me.
great, wonderful. Okay,
So, yeah.
so Escher definitely counts as fae then.
Yes, Escher definitely counts as full fae, and so does Ludmilla. And then Valenta's a tiefling.
Mhm.
Anastasia is just a regular human. And then
Okay.
Strahd is what Allegra found out last session was formerly an Azamar or an Acer blood.
Oh right, yeah. Okay, cool, sick.
But they all
Us.
reek of
Mhm, mhm.
fae like contracts or deeds. Like there's something that has turned them into being fae.
Interesting. Cool. So good to know. Thank you. Continue.
You guys may use your inspirations to get better checks. If you have something in your back pocket, which I assume Lynx has,
What?
you
Me?
may use
No.
that for your advantage to the dance. And then I'm gonna do the first round of dances, and then I'll move you guys to the dance, the beautiful, beautiful battle map that Lynx made.
Mhm. For dancing is a battle.
Yeah, dancing is a battle, and maybe a battle will break out in this session. Who knows, really?
There-
Boss.
I
There
did
was
promise
a
that
thing-
Allegra would not throw hands.
There was a thing that kept happening in my Curse of Strahd campaign that I streamed, where I would not my brain would not stop referring to the dance floor as the battlefield. So it would keep saying the battlefield instead of the dance floor on several occasions throughout that session.
Spectacular.
Okay. Now, I think Creepy voted for randomness on who gets to dance first. Who gets to do like the first like social pod question threes thing.
Sure.
So is
Random
that
sounds
okay?
fun.
Okay.
That's fine.
We are gonna go in the order of the Discord group, which is perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. D5. 1 D5. 2. So that is going to be Allegra and Anastasia first.
Phenomenal. I had a feeling it was going to be.
It was either going to be you or I was manifesting it was going to be Ismark and Lottie. Because it would be
Phenomenal.
funny that they start the dance off. Let me get... Thank you, duck in the background. You're beautiful. No. I hate this. So, for your sake, Allegra, the style of dancing that Anastasia typically does is the word that I cannot pronounce. Denise waltz. She is a soldier today, so she dances with a practice and a stride for her movement.
This is one of the ones that Allegra is like practiced in
Yes.
because she does the same thing.
Yeah, because like in the end of the day, she is a soldier. She was taught basic dance skills and she is the first lady to Strahd, basically. So she had to learn how to dance, and this is her, like, you can tell it's not flawed or anything. And I believe for you, it wouldn't be flawed because you've been taught this over time, several times, that it's just kind of ingrained.
It's just been decades of learning this and then teaching Vasilka this dance.
Exactly.
And
but Anastasia, if you would want, I just kind of want to see how practice it is, because if it, even if it's two forms of well-practiced soldiers dancing together, it doesn't mean you are dancing on the same level.
Yeah, on the same level.
And one of you has to match the other. So if you want to, whatever check you want to make, performance, acrobatics, you want to do full strength, like athletics as your way of leading.
I think Allegra's going athletics.
Okay. It's
That's a 21. Yeah. Athletic. So also, I will say Allegra took the lead.
Okay.
If she was allowed.
Yes. The only one in the group, you have to fight the lead for Ludmilla, and then Valenta always asks, are you leading or are you following?
Yeah.
But Escher and Anastasia are intermingle. Like, they'll go back and forth. Okay, let me see.
I think for Allegra with Anastasia specifically, it's less, Allegra has less questions for her. It's more idle chat. It's kind of it's chatting about about the castle, the ballroom, things of that nature.
Oh yes.
It's less I have questions for you. Ludmilla's the one she has questions.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Anastasia also rolled athletics. Verbatim, I gave her advantage because this is her forte. I would give you advantage too. So if you want to see if you get
A crit.
a higher, yeah. Oh, okay.
22.
You got a 22. Not Ludmilla, Anastasia crit. So she rolled a 29 on her athletics check. So you guys are in perfect sync. And yeah, the dance is very much filled with her answering your questions like, oh yeah, we got that equipment. They were made by a bunch of smiths, actually the ones in your fair village. I can't remember their name particularly, but one of their lineages several years ago.
Yeah, she's specifically asking about like the shields that have the symbol, like the ones she borrowed, quote unquote. Those things, like, because she's very interested in like the history of the castle and the equipment, and one of the things she does bring up is, what does the Lord wear in battle? Because I know the Lord has gone to battle before. I want to know, what does the Lord wear in battle? Is it more of a heavy plate, or is the Lord more of an agile fighter?
I would say this would be like your persuasion check.
Okay.
Or however you want to do performance.
Because one of the things she will say is, I mean no hostility toward the Lord, but I would love to spar them at one point.
Okay.
And then you said persuasion?
Uh-huh.
Okay. 17.
You see, it is very much like not a cat playing. She's looking at you amusedly. Like,
yeah,
you want to spar with the Lord, and she's just giving you a look of like, you could certainly try.
Yeah, like Allegra knows she's gonna get her ass kicked
Yeah.
in that moment. She just also wants to, that's kind of how she's expressing it. Is, I know I would lose. It is not a question of if I would win or lose. It is more testing my ability and learning from the Lord.
And you see, she smiles. Like, you guys are moving in sync, and she looks over at Strahd, who is just kind of dancing with Irina, who, from what looks like from everyone's perspective, Irina is just continuously talking, so Strahd never gets to talk.
Just a yapper.
She's just yapping at anything that she can see or think of, and Strahd is just kind of nodding his head, trying to open a word, and then Irina asks another question, and it just kind of blows Strahd away. So whoever dances with Irina next, sorry, she's gonna be a little hoarse. But Anastasia stares over at them and goes, my paramour, my husband, you've actually seen their armor. The one that you've all cleverly tried to persuade into staying behind, correct?
Yes,
Or
yes,
bodyguard.
I believe so. That was... Goodness.
That's her
Okay.
armor. Sentient in its own ways, but when she calls for it, that is the armor she wears into battle.
That is slightly terrifying with how large the Lord is.
So technically heavy plate. But do not discredit her. She did teach Valenta the ways of magic. Has learned from myself and Ludmilla on different forms of styles of battle. So she could be quick with her magic and movement on the floor. She could be a brute force with heavy armor and praying that you will not hit her, but she will hit you hard. And then there's the more bestial side, if you ever get to see that, which I pray none of you will ever see.
I pray never. Personally, I would not wish to anger her enough for that to happen.
Yeah.
Allegra slowly taking notes in the back of her head.
Yeah. But yeah, Anastasia just kind of nods her head. So she's like, she is the warrior, the beast, and the mage at the end of the day in her combat.
Of course. I would also, at some point, wish to spar with you, if you would allow me.
And you see she smiles and goes, certainly, I've always love another challenge.
Phenomenal. One paladin to another, I suppose.
Maybe she nods her head and realizes, don't get enough of those.
No.
Escher's the closest, and he doesn't pan out as well as brute strength.
Yes, but it takes more than brute strength to win a battle, I suppose.
You see, she nods her head, but doesn't agree with you.
Okay.
She, at the end of the day, is a paladin of the crown.
Ah, yeah.
She is a conquest paladin.
Me interacting with any Oath of the Crown paladin, break your oath.
Break
your oath. Do it.
Do it. Don't fall in love with the Lord. You don't need to be like this. Be your own person.
Yeah.
But meanwhile,
Tactics beat brute force in every instance.
Yep.
Hey, you know your oath doesn't make you immune to levies, right? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know that, right?
Phenomenal. Yeah. I think that's the rest of the evening with her is specifically discussing battle tactics.
Yeah. And Anastasia just kind of explains, like, you should talk about how you guys do your different kinds of forms. She mentions that with your new wings, you would be a very fierce combatant in the air. Where she is more of a combatant on the ground with her steed at her side. Which she, of course, apologizes again, not knowing of your adherence to Skull.
It is fine. It was just a surprise, and with what happened in my village, it is something I will work to be okay with. Your wolf, honestly, is very beautiful in comparison to the beasts that took my village.
And she nods her head as like the music kind of goes to an ending to signify another song being played. And she will kind of like, as you pull apart, hold a hand and then go, my apologies about Kresik. If you do need help finding the perpetrators or bringing them to proper justice, you know where to find me.
I will ask you, yes. Thank you. I appreciate it. I would very much like to personally see to it. But if you are willing to help, I will gladly accept it.
Yeah.
The justice is swift, but also having a strong hammer to place down upon it is always welcome. And this is, like, up until this point, Allegra's tone was very jovial.
Yeah.
She is dead serious now.
Yeah. And you see Anastasia, like, takes it in and nods her head, but doesn't say more to it. Just, like, acknowledges your,
anger.
Yeah, your anger, your favor. Your sworn, kind of like your little mini oath that you're having right now. Of justice. And she nods her head, gives you, like, mouths, just call.
She'll nod.
And then excitedly throw her hands over and go, Ludmilla! Your turn to dance with me.
Shit. Oh, okay.
No, she's going off to find Ludmilla, who is coincidentally dancing with herself. Hopefully she doesn't grab... It'd be awkward if she grabbed Beth. Who knows? Okay. So we got that. 1d5. Can't take a 2. We rolled a 2. Well, okay, we'll do a d4 then. Why? Okay.
You guys just love me, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I did a d4. I have nixed you from the equation, so the equation now states that it's RA and Escher.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. As I have denoted to both you and Creepy, the style of Escher does. You are taking the lead.
Yes.
So he is pretty much dancing in a way that you would like it to be. So usually he dances as like a form of tango in a sense. A little bit slutty, a little bit provocative if the partner allows it. But he does do a thing where he kind of just slightly shifts a little bit in height and form to make it easier to dance with. Can't be too tall, can't be too short for you.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll a skill check for the dancing itself?
Yeah, if you would like.
Well, I don't know if I want to or not, because it could go bad.
Pick your best stats. So if it's like you want to do acrobatics for your dancing, you can. It doesn't have to be performance.
Yeah, acrobatics is probably best.
This is
All right, let's find out.
You could do.
That's a 20.
Okay. I was gonna say you could have advantage if you think that public dancing or ballroom dancing is a thing that your character has done in the past. Okay, it's
We'll
a
stick
20.
with that 20.
We'll stick with the 20. Okay.
Oh boy. Okay. So with a 20, I think RA will lead Escher in a slow foxtrot.
Okay. You do outperform him, I will say.
Excellent.
He rolled a 19.
Wonderful. I'm so pleased.
But that's why he is a follower and you are the lead in this case.
Yeah, because he's a little bitch boy.
What? No. But yeah. Escher very similarly to like what Irina is doing. It's just kind of chatting. Amicably, but occasionally will stop talking just to understand the style of dance that you are doing and to incorporate. He seems a little bit off step for a while until he understands this is the style we're doing, so I'm gonna follow.
Excellent. Okay. Wonderful. So, he has said earlier, you suspected I had something in my pocket. I do.
Okay. I thought you were saying this out loud to...
No, I have advantage on insight checks.
Okay.
Against Fae.
Okay.
So, for my skill roll, the contest here, I'd like to use insight at advantage.
Okay. Yes, you may. This will work on all the brides, because they are all Fae.
Hell yeah.
This will also work on Lottie, if you ever want to do that to her.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. That's good to know. I'll have to remember that.
Yeah, technically Lottie has the Fae, thingamabob.
Yeah, Fae creature type.
That's the word. Yep.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so now? Later. Rolling
no.
dice.
How
No?
you
Okay.
can ask the question, then roll the dice, or roll the dice and then see how that changes your question.
Oh.
Escher has to roll an insight check. And I will tell you, all of my brides don't have great wisdom except one.
Okay. I think I think I'll ask my question first and then roll the dice. Okay. So at some point when Escher is trying to concentrate on the dance itself and trying to figure it out, one of those brief lulls when he's actually concentrating and trying to get back in step, I think RA just ever so casually remarks, "So, you seem familiar with some of my companions. How did you all meet?"
You see, he tilts his head a little bit, thinking about answering coyly, like giving you a smug remark. And then shakes his head just a little bit dazzled by a little bit of the glamour that you are exuding. And goes, "What, you mean the siblings that you dance around with?"
Yes.
Um, what to say? I used to know them when we were teens. When they were teens. Doing the exact same thing you are doing. A wholly bunch of adventurers gallivanting all across the land of Barovia, meeting new people, helping saving the world. Not panning out. So good luck with you guys. Yeah, no, they were friends that we made along the way. They didn't really leave the village, but we wrote wherever we went. Do you know how long it takes for a crow to deliver a message from Kresik to the village of Barovia? Ages.
I think Arya is just kind of dancing and not responding too much to try and subtly prompt him to talk more. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But if he eventually falls silent, I can move on to my next question.
Yeah. I think he chatters just a bit about... He less talks about Irina and Ismark and more of just, like, him gallivanting around Barovia.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I think Arya would send Escher out in a little spin, just a little twirl, and then fling him back in, and would then ask, "So then, what happened between you and Ismark?"
Oh, great. Cool.
I will say, Arya's face is kept completely neutral. They're
Yeah.
not like letting on anything. They're the picture of politeness,
Yeah.
but nothing more. It's cold.
Yep. Do you want to give me your insight roll at advantage?
Yes. Boop, 23.
Yeah. He does look over at his mark for a very long time. And then eventually looks back at you and be like, I died. He thought I died. Case closed.
Case closed. What happened before you died then?
You see, he gives you a look and he goes like, what do you want me to tell you? That we made out behind the bushes in their fair house, estate, whatever? That I called him pretty?
Was there anything more? A relationship? Or was it just a casual fling?
You see, he gets an unsure look across his face, and he goes, there was never anything official. It's really hard to be official when I am on one side of the valley and he's on the other. And then you are destined to go slay a tyrant, air quotes. And then, lo and behold, your whole entire party decides to get you killed. Because you were chatting up the tyrant to see if there was something else. And the news spread, everyone said that we were dead, witch gets cursed, yada yada yada. You don't really go up to someone and say, hey, I'm actually alive, joke's on you.
A witch got cursed?
Yes, that's the famous tale in Barovia.
I'm not from here.
You would think that someone would... I don't know, you travel with a bunch of people from here. You probably went to the Vistani to get your stupid little tarot reading. That it could be inaccurate or could be accurate. It really depends on you all.
Locales tend to have a number of superstitions and customs. It's not possible to learn them all in so short a time.
Great. Once upon a time, when our adventuring party came into Barovia, there was a former adventuring party that was led by a very powerful witch who wanted to band everyone together to destroy the tyrant completely. And you know what this witch did? Got everyone killed. There's a reason why several people in the village of Barovia are dead. There's several reasons why we don't have a lot of people in Barovia itself. They all followed stupidly to this witch's blind ambition that I believed in. And then many of us got slaughtered. And then, I don't know, the Lord placed a curse on the witch. The witch fell and was never seen again.
Ari looks very thoughtful upon hearing that. And does that count as my second or third question?
You asked two, technically, I guess. So this won't. You managed to get him to say something out of asking a question. So you have one more, I would say.
Okay. Cool.
You are, insight-wise, you are making him increasingly more frazzled.
Excellent. That sets up what I'm going to do next perfectly.
Yeah. You're bringing up baggage that he didn't want to think about in, like, the past 20 or 15 years.
Cool. Cool.
How old is my Ismark? Okay, cool.
Awesome. So, I think as the dance starts to reach its closing point, but not there yet, Ari, mulls over what has been said so far, and then probably glances over and sees Ismark dancing with Lottie. And then looks back to Escher, smiles, without any warmth, and says, "If you are wise, you will keep your distance from Ismark and his sister. If you inflict your presence on him again without his prior knowledge or acceptance." And Ari's gonna lean in real close and whisper in his ear, like really seamlessly with the dance.
Yeah.
And whisper right to him, "I will hunt you down to the ends of the earth. I will carve your skin from your flesh in ribbons and burn you to ashes. And then I will use your hide to string my bow." And then she dips him and completes the dance.
So that's intimidation with advantage, right?
Absolutely.
Cool. Fun. That's a 20.
Okay. Okay. You see the composure kind of slips, and there is a moment where he is completely caught off guard by what you are saying. But as you go down to a dip, you see that he has solidified his composure. He's not terrified. And then very jokingly will hold out a pinky and go, "Is that a promise?"
You know what? Yeah. Ari takes that.
Okay. He meant it as a Fae contract. Do you meant it as a Fae contract? Okay.
Yep.
Cool. What kind of mark do you think your contract looks on Escher?
Let's see. Okay. You know what? I think on the inside of his forearm, it looks like a small burn mark in the shape of a bow. And I think Ari gets just a little tally on their arm.
Okay, I was gonna say a tally, small music note, or
Ooh.
it could be
music note's
2 punctures, like as if it's a vampire bite, just like on the ridge of your pinky.
Mmm. All of those are fun. Ooh, you pick.
I think you would get, let me look at this particular music note I'm thinking of.
16th note linked.
Yeah, I would say that.
Okay. On
Yeah.
their pinky, right?
Yeah, on their pinky. It either be
Cool.
wrapped around or it's just a very small, like, it's when you get tattoos on your appendages, they kind of fade over time and it's very hard to see. But
Mhm.
any other Fae-coded characters would be able to be like, I could see that. Where'd you
Cool.
get that from?
Just promising to kill someone. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And to your credit, Escher will leave Ismark and Irene alone.
Excellent. What fun.
Otherwise, they will suffer a very morbid death.
Yep.
Which, who knows? Could be fun for them.
They're the one who made Ari double down, okay?
Yep.
It's Escher's fault.
He rolled a natural 20 on his wisdom save, so that's why he doubled down. Otherwise,
Good for
he
him.
was just going to Misty Step out of your arms and go away.
Mm-hmm.
But yay!
What fun.
Escher has a... looking. I'm putting this on his character sheet so I don't forget.
Good to know. Mm-hmm. Of course, that doesn't count for the ball here because, like, Ismark knows Escher's here.
Yeah. Basically, he is going to keep the two of them at, like, aside, like, not going to really engage unless they come up to him and have a conversation, but he's just gonna have, like, a half-ass conversation and always excuse himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably give you a wink every time he does it. He's like, following your promise. Wink. He's gonna be annoying about it.
As long as it works, you know?
It'll work. It'll work.
What's
You just got the slutty bard to agree to a deal, and he's just gonna make a show of it.
Fun. Cool. So, a little spark of Fae magic on the dance floor.
Yay! What more can happen? Who knows? There's so much.
Find out.
All right. Okay. So, the final 3. Roll 1d3. 3. Lottie. Hello. Jester?
Hello.
Hi.
Yes. Hi.
Do you have any pretty boy questions for local pretty boy? Ismark?
I have a few.
You have a few?
I have a couple.
You got a couple?
I got a couple.
Do you want to see how well you are dancing on the dance floor tonight? On this grand evening?
Yeah, Lottie has, in her head, no experience, so Ismark is more than welcome to lead.
Yep, also a person who has little experience, too. Did you roll something?
I didn't roll anything
Okay.
yet. I can.
Okay.
Listen, I think it's, in a crowd of people who are good at this, I think this is weirdly the most low-pressure dance Lottie's gonna have is because we both suck.
Yes, exactly. You could use, performance, acrobatics. If you want to say you're using your intelligence as a way to carefully navigate the dance floor, you may.
I'll try performance. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
I like to imagine you know in high school dances when you see like kids dancing and they really don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's just these two.
Yeah, no, you guys are pulled far away from the others in the dance floor. Where less of the lights are being shown down on you guys and more kind of blending into the other well-practiced nobles who are dancing around you.
Yeah, okay. Let's go. 20.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know where I rolled at disadvantage.
Who knows? Okay, Ismark, you have been learning how to dance for a week. By Beth. Hero 22!
Yay!
He's gonna do so great, and then he's gonna fumble it at the end when he's dancing with, I don't know, someone important.
Yeah, haha. That's crazy.
Whoops. But yeah. Most of... Are you having him lead?
Yes.
Yes, okay. He is doing his best to remember exactly how to do the leading part of the dance, because most of the time I felt like he was following Beth in learning how to dance and occasionally would take change roles. But unfortunately, he has been a follower for most of it. But it takes him a moment, and the dance is very, like, a little bit uncoordinated. You are dancing, and you're dancing well, but there is no sign of, like, okay, who's actually going to take the first step? Who is going to initiate the next move? And then Ismark, kind of clicks his tongue under his breath and, starts to move you around. And it's a very typical, just, like, standard waltz that he is doing. Very well practiced, something that you could see that he's internalizingly counting the steps in his head. And occasionally his eyes drift away just to see what is happening around you guys.
Aware. I like
yes,
that.
he is being very much aware of what's going on, but also trying to keep in time with the dance.
Yeah. So like the first question that I had in my brain was, in your time in
Sorry, Ismark wolfed out for a second. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. In your time in Barovia, what have you found is the most important lesson you've learned?
Okay. Give me an insight check.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
persuasion, whatever's higher for you.
Yeah, it's just a lot of, like, these people have lived here the longest.
Yes.
My insight's better than my persuasion. So that's a 22.
Okay. You see that there is several things that go through his mind, and he doesn't answer you for a bit, and then gets caught off guard a little bit by your question, and goes, "You want to know the most important lesson of the land?" Yes?
Yes, she nods.
Okay. I really want to say, don't be stupid and go run out in the woods by yourself. That's a common one.
That's a fair one, yeah.
Don't speak ill will to the Lord of the Land. Be careful where you're setting up traps in the woods. If you hear the sound of children crying and begging for help in the woods, no, you don't. Actually, that's a big thing. If you ever hear something calling for you or mimicking your voice and you're not there, don't listen to it unless you want to fight a giant bird-dog hybrid.
Can I don't know, it feels like something out of my depth. Can I do a nature to see if I get have any hint as to what that means?
Sure.
I don't expect to succeed. I just want it known out here.
You did spend most of the time in Valaki reading.
Yeah, that's a 10.
The most you could recollect is, like, there could be, like, different kind of monstrosities that are in the woods that could mimic people, but you haven't heard of something that is a mix of a wolf and a bird.
Uh-huh. Yeah, she'll let him continue. I just wanted to see if I could suss out what it was.
And then you see that he nods. He's like, actually, yeah. So, you ever hear that? Go the opposite direction and keep running.
Mm-hmm.
If you're by yourself. I think with the group we have here, we could probably semi-easily take one out.
Mm-hmm.
It just really depends if he's got a pack of wolves or ravens around him. Or mini versions of them.
She's just, I think, nodding and kind of taking it in the way that it's like he's looking out for stuff. She's compartmentalizing information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and he shakes his head as he thinks about it. He's like, Valrobin. You need a name to it.
Sorry, Valrobin?
Yes, that's what they're called.
Okay. I will, I can't, I think the one thing that's fucking with her the most is I can't physically write while I'm at a ball, and this kind of sucks ass.
And you see the look of struggle that he sees, like the look of struggle, and then goes, I'll remind you again later.
Yeah. If I don't remember, I will find you later. I know you're preparing possible questions. At some point. Did you come up with any from Ismark to Lottie?
Ismark would, after a very quiet, like long stretch of silence, he does look down at you or up at you. I think you're shorter than him.
Did I write down her height? Let me look.
Ismark is 6'2".
Unless I made her a giant. She's 5'5". Yeah, he is definitely looking down.
Right, you're the size of Irina. That's why, yeah. Yeah, he is looking down at you. And you see, like, he is giving you a more softer look, as in someone who is worried in general.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, a lot of people have been asking me this, so I think it's fair to ask others. Are you okay?
It's a very good question.
Yeah. Everyone keeps asking Ismark if he's okay, and no one, Ismark hasn't asked anyone else.
Is he gonna make an insight? Is this how this works? Or is he just taking it at face value?
I was gonna have him take it at face value, but if you want him to insight you, I may.
If I lie. Oh, if I lie, he can insight me. Maybe, I don't know.
You can...
I think she sits...
I
think she sits up.
I was gonna say, you could GM roll it. Actually, I'll know it. But you can GM roll me a deception or a persuasion check, and I'll just have him incite it.
Yeah, I think she sits and ponders it for a while. The question. Yes. No. As okay as someone can be when you don't know who you are. You're in a land where you don't know what's you're in a new land where you've never been before, and there's a lot of new rules and information that, you know, everybody knows, but you don't know. So kind of yes, but kind of no. I think I'll be okay. I think when I get my journal back, I'll feel a little better about it. But right now it kind of feels like a good chunk of my head is behind a wall and I can't get to there. And it kind of makes it hard to know things in a way. Oh, why did that roll twice? That's a sick. Oh, motherfucker, why did you do this to me? On the day of my daughter's wedding?
It's okay.
It's a long-winded yes, but not really.
I will tell you, he didn't roll a natural one, but he rolled a 2. So he kind of just takes it as face value. It does sound wishy-washy. Like, as you said,
It is
kind of a yes, kind of a no.
Yeah, it is wishy-washy, yeah.
And he kind of nods his head, and for a brief moment, unsure of how to respond to this, and then kind of looks out to the window to see, like, it's pitch black out, but with a bunch of, like, glittering lights and flames.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nightbot's
freaking out. Hold on.
Oh,
it's freaking out about the cat. Hi everyone. Thank you for the raid. I'm so sorry that Nightbot's being a bitch right now. Thank you.
I got it.
Thank you. We're in the middle of Curse of Strahd. Hello. I know you all got shot. I'm so sorry. Okay. Back to seriousness.
I think she doesn't she's not really waiting for an answer. So she is very comfortable with it just staying in strange silence.
Yeah. And I will say that Ismark, I got distracted, but Ismark would respond going, well, I guess when and if we ever leave this place, I guess you'll be showing Irina and I around the new laws and unfamiliarness of the land.
You see, for a second, her face was entirely serious, and kind of cowabummer, but at the prospect of being able to show somebody around,
Jester.
What?
Why'd you have to say cowabummer?
Cowabummer, dude. It's the only way I felt I could really get the kind of the vibe across.
Okay. Thank you.
But she lightens up immediately, and kind of stops herself from rambling for a second. First, I would love to, but shit, I had something in my brain and then I lost it. When it's you can show us around, you jangled keys in front of her
yes.
face.
That is how he's trying to turn light into the conversation, because you were very Lottie sounded to him very unsured and startled about, well, I'm in a new place and a new terrain, yada yada, I don't know anything. So Ismark's trying to be like, well, if we ever leave this land, I guess you will be the one showing us around.
Yeah. I think it works. And she kind of shakes her head. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would love to. Aside from the obvious, and she kind of makes a vague eye motion to where Strahd is. Is there anyone here that I should avoid?
he thinks about it for a while and goes, I don't know, any of the other upper nobility. Unless you want to have a stingy, boring conversation with the Volokoviches. There's, the Kreskovs are nice, but they are more of the stern kind of stuffiness. I don't know. I think there's maybe not
So it's
dance with the new guy who got Burgomaster into Immol. Otherwise, I think Angel over there is gonna rip his head off quicker.
I think that does get like I feel like they haven't known each other very long, but like a very genuine sounding laugh out of her about the whole thing. Yeah. So most nobility.
Probably. I mean, you could try. I wouldn't dance with any of the other consorts. Mainly because the others are going to fret for you. I'll fret for you. Again, Angel might rip someone's throat out. You know who.
I look at my plans. And my plans at the end of the night is Mark, buddy, you don't know I'm gonna ask one of them to bite me. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, no, he doesn't know that.
He doesn't need to know. Guys, listen, he doesn't need to know.
No one needs to know that Lottie has ulterior plans.
I got plans, baby. I got plans and plans and plans.
But are you giving off a look of going, well?
I think she, right now it's very much, question answer mode. AKA the thing she fucking loves doing. So her ulterior motives right now are not in the forefront of her brain space.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And I think the rest of it is just filled with her babbling about all of these cool places she could show them. And it's just her yapping.
Yeah, he asks about the
fest.
sun. You go into a scientific reasoning of why the sun exists. And then how it's weird that Barovia doesn't have like a weird influence of like a lack of sun but still having 2 moons. You get really sciencey on him.
Yeah.
The cosmology part of your brain just starts buzzing, and you see that he nods his head and he just listens. He'll ask a very stupid question of like, how bright is the sun? And you have to like
if you stare directly at it, you will go blind. That's how bright it is.
You can definitely tell that he does not believe you, and that will be a test of trial whenever it happens.
It's I think at the end of the dance, it's her putting her hands on his shoulder in the way like that meme where it's like the person sticking the hands, like their like nails into it, but she's not doing that.
Yeah.
I need you. Listen, you're gonna want to stare at the sun. Do not stare into the sun, please. This is the one thing I'm asking.
I think you get a genuine laugh out of him. And he goes, fine, Lottie, I won't do it.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry, I almost started cussing because I'm playing a focus game in the background, which is Balacho, and I lost 3 of the flush I was gonna play.
Ismark has no idea what a Balacho is, but pats you on the shoulder.
No, that's out of character for the but yeah, no, she just leaves it off with the please don't stare at the sun. And yeah, that's it.
You get him to laugh. He pats you on the shoulder and points a thumb back towards Irina and goes, I'm gonna go save her now. And start moving his way towards the crowd to kind of get the count off of his sister. Sorry, sir. My turn to dance with my sister. No, thank you. The final dances. Do-do-do. Is okay. The Ludmillas. All right. Hello, Beth. Are you still with us? Oh, we have lost audio, or I've lost audio.
Beth, if you're with us, speak.
We're good. I think I got it.
Oh yes, I can hear you now. Hello, Ludmilla
As
2.0.
yes, I think once the dance starts,
Mhm.
Beth begins to look like herself again, but she
Okay.
keeps the whatever height Ludmilla is,
Okay.
and she will of course let Ludmilla lead.
Do you? Because I know you went ham on describing how, the style of dances
Oh my god!
that
A little.
you did with each bride. Do you want to describe how you think Beth dances with Ludmilla?
Oh god! I have a whole.
Yeah, I was reading it earlier and I went, ah, yes.
Hold on. For the broad. I really like the energy of this couple in which it is a lot of back and forth throwing, catching, and such. Not into the air, but definitely Beth is going to make herself. Ludmilla's an aggressive one, so Beth is going to position herself more as prey in this fight.
Yeah. It is more of like throwing you around or you moving away and then she coming towards you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, not cat and mouse, but very similar to it. Where you guys are just kind of playing around with each other, but there's an obvious like energy between who is what in the scenario.
Yeah.
You.
Beth has a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. And you see the lead Milla's enjoying it just because it's different compared to the other styles of dances around, and you guys are infracturing other people's dancings just a little bit. But just from the status of Ludmilla, a lot of people don't say a word about it. And occasionally, like, if anything, while Valenta is dancing with Kat, would wave an arm and then, like, move people to the left while you guys are going towards them.
Yeah. At the start of the dance, Beth is going to use only the first half of her Baron Alchemy. And just for the duration of the dance, she'll have an extra d4 to athletics, which is what I will be using.
Okay.
In addition, over her arms, I think, are just around small lines that almost look like cuts of forest green, matching Ludmilla's dress, will open.
Ooh. Okay.
This will repeat for everybody.
Okay.
But I think the first thing Beth will say is, I believe you had something you wanted to ask me or talk to me about.
You do see that she grins a little bit and goes, honestly, I was going to ask you about it anyway. So, daughter of the Witchling, do you want to strike a bargain with me?
You know I can't answer that until I know the details.
And
Tell me more.
She rolls her eyes, goes, yeah, right, Fate. I forget sometimes what I am. Your mother has something that belongs to me. I can't retrieve it. Because of the pact the Lord has with your mother's paramour, which makes her untouchable to all of us.
I see. What is it she has?
A portrait
You'll have to be more specific. She has plenty of those.
She has a portrait, from what I am understanding, is a woman with antlers on her head.
And you want it.
Yes.
Then I'll see what I can do. Seems fairly reasonable. She has plenty of those. She won't miss one.
um, you're the worst person to ask for an insight check, but I will ask for an insight check.
Oh, sure.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh!
god.
Beth, good to see. You can tell that the moment she said that she has plenty of these, there is a slight twitch in her form, and you know the gravity of what she is asking you to take is very important to her.
I see.
And she doesn't
Can
like
I
how
ask-
flippant you are about, like, yeah, I guess I can get it.
I ask Ludmilla, what does this portrait mean to you?
The dance becomes more of like a prowl around the dance floor. And at the next point that you guys get close, she mentions that, you see, it's a key to bringing back an archfey. And I'm tired of your mother siphoning her power.
Or is this archfey of personal relevance?
And you see, she tilts her head, she's like, you tell me. You've lived here all your life. You know the people who've been missing. You live on a land that once belonged to an archfey.
Still does, if you believe the rumors.
Sure, the crazy stone statues outside your stupid little hut means falsehood and what have you.
No, I mean, the land belongs to a very powerful fae at the moment, does it not?
You see, she kind of rolls her shoulders and goes, that's not what. She can have all the power she wants. I want her alive, not stuck in a fucking portrait.
Then we will get her out of that portrait. You drive a hard bargain, but it will be done.
I think you see that she doesn't like wolf out or anything, like Therian out, or the druid instincts does, but you do see that her, like, the fox ears that she has at the tip of her head do kind of furrow back in a little bit of an anger, and her tail swishes underneath her dress, but she doesn't let the anger completely take over at the words that she's saying. She goes, well, I hope you can do it. Otherwise, I have to ask all the damn head witches.
When you
Or
don't
help.
want to do that, they're very picky, I feel like. Not the best conversationalists.
She nods her head and stuck believing in whatever your mother and her Baba preaches.
Witches do tend to do that, don't they? I promise you I have first-hand experience, but it will be done. Can I ask you a different question? Mostly unrelated and maybe on a lighter note?
You see she nods her head.
What was the last thing you did for fun? For yourself. For nobody else's entertainment or purpose. Have you done for you?
Do you wanna make a persuasion check? Or
Sure.
whatever check you think would deem good for asking a question.
It's a
That's-
performance. She's making
Performance,
herself
yeah.
seem innocent and small.
Performance, persuasion, using athletics to get the upper hand in the dance. Either or.
Yeah. Let's see. That is 17. Should not be at advantage. I can use acrobatics
No.
modifier for athletics or performance for athletics. It's
yeah.
very fun.
You are good. She rolled a natural 1. She's
Oh,
gonna be very forthright with you. And she thinks a little bit. And there's a small grin as like you remember like the style of the dance that you guys are doing. And she goes, "There was a little hummingbird I was chasing around for a bit. That was fun."
a hummingbird.
Small, green, something that doesn't belong in Barovia. Had a very fun game of moving me around the forest.
Prowling in forests. I've done a lot of the same at times. It's exhilarating, isn't it? The hunt?
At first, and then it just became a game to see how far the little bird would lead me and where we're going.
Where did you go?
I believe several hundred feet away from your encampment that one night.
Yes, I suppose the hummingbird would like to do that. It's a very secretive one, so I've heard.
Really didn't want us to find wherever you were, which is fine.
It's okay. But Mila, I think I quite like your presence. You have a very fun atmosphere to be around. Can I ask you what you know of the blood arts, magic, and otherwise?
So she still rolls low. She thinks a little bit, and kind of her nose scrunches in thought and goes, "I was never a practitioner when I was a druid of the wilds. With the so-called blood arts, that was more of the barbarians that lived near Jester's hills. Whole ordeal. Unless you think about the call of therianthropy and giving that gift off to other people, I guess that's a blood art in its sense."
The hunt in and of itself is a blood art. I mean, I hunt. I use blood.
Sure, you hunt, you use blood. I guess I slice things down, therefore blood.
I mean, it pounds in your ears while you're chasing. It's good. It keeps you alive.
Sure. I suppose. But you are talking to someone who is not really entirely alive anymore.
sure the echoes are still there. You had to run a lot in your life, I'm sure.
Yeah, they are. Sometimes I remember the thrill of the hunt. Sometimes I remember just the fact that I continuously run and never tire.
If you ever need a satisfying chase or something of the sort, I hope that I have proven myself adept. And hopefully a friend if you'll have me.
I see she tips her head back and forth in thought and goes, "Until the Lord says otherwise, sure. We all
I'll
know what
accept
you're
that.
doing.
What do you think I'm doing?
The stupid whole reading that Escher and his cohorts did several hundred years, or not several hundred years ago, a decade ago.
Don't assume you know what is going on to somebody who wears masks for a living.
Oh, entirely. I'm just saying. You
I-
are on a grand quest to slay the tyrant, so to speak, if you decide to do it.
Am I?
But if
It's
you
news
get
to me.
But if you get too influential, too powerful, a real thorn in the side.
If I become too much of a thorn in the side, then I guess you won't get that portrait you want. Isn't that the case?
Oh, don't worry, I'm very patient.
We are friends, and I would like to keep it that way. But don't kid yourself into thinking you know what my grand plans are.
I think
Do
you get
like you.
Yeah, I think you get like a dry kind of laugh out of her. And there's like a force on either the shoulder or the back. And as you say, "I like you," she responds, "I like you too."
Very, very bright smile. And I assume about now is when the song ends,
Yeah.
and she will give a very polite bow,
Yep.
a kiss on the back of the hand, and turn to face Anastasia.
Oh no. Are you gonna you dance with Anastasia next?
I don't know if she decides to take me instead of Ludmilla.
Alright, Anastasia.
I'll take Ludmilla.
You'll dance with
In a
Ludmilla
fight, right?
next?
Uh-huh.
That'll go well.
Yeah.
That'll go great.
I mean, you can dance with Ludmilla next if you so desire.
Or I could swap my dance rotation a little bit and have Allegra next instead of Irina, since Ismark's gonna go save Irina.
For second, I can tell you for second round, I had to dance with you know who.
Yeah, and then they had that chat anyway, so that kind of negated the need for the you know who.
Okay. Gotcha. I will delete that then.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hold on. Okay. Huh. Do I make it a check or do I just make it a 50-50% roll? Just to
I think make it a chance,
get a
honestly.
chance. Okay.
Random chance.
All right.
Random chance.
So I'll roll a d2. A 1, she's dancing with Beth. On a 2,
Sure.
it's actually Ludmilla. Alright, she's... I think what happens is that you both hear Ludmilla's name being called from across the ballroom, and then Ludmilla tenses a little bit and looks to find someone else to dance with, and then you just kind of intercede.
I've got you. Don't worry.
And are you still looking like Ludmilla for a bit?
Just to start the dance.
Okay. I think before going to Cat's dance, Anastasia just starts blabbing about how a lovely dance she had with the knightly Barovian.
Oh yes, she seems very practiced.
Very
If a little
practiced. Maybe really hates
harsh.
you.
That's okay, I quite like her. She'll
Uh,
be very fun to play with.
yeah, and you're getting like the schoolgirl, like, ooh, I'm getting all the tea, kind of the drama.
Yeah.
And yeah, Anastasia is just getting really excited, and she's like, go on, go on. But before we go on and go on, Kat, you are the last one in the group who has not danced with a dance partner.
It seems so.
It seems so. The dice rolls say Kat goes last. Hooray! So you're dancing with Valenta. To start off the dance, do you want to roll like an acrobatics, a performance? If you want to use your intelligence or your wisdom to navigate the dance floor, you may.
Let's see. What would be the skill check associated with wisdom?
I would say insight.
I will do that. Okie dokie. I will throw knowledge from a past life onto that. $21.
Cool. She rolled a 26. So the dance goes off with a hitch. It is very much of like Valenta is surveying the dance floor and like thinking about, okay, if we go this way, like tactically observing the dance floor, and then in which case you are observing her, like the way she is planning things out and like understanding it, like, okay, this is where we're going, this is how we want to dance. And you guys kind of work in tandem on how the two of you dance together.
Gotcha. Kat will smile as we're kind of navigating the battlefield and say, "You have a very analytical mind. I see a kinship in that. I'm very much the same."
You say Valenta smiles, very small, like not a person who like amicably chatters a lot. Keeps to herself, and goes, "Well, this will make the dance easier, right?"
Right, exactly. You know, I know at least surface level knowledge of the other consorts. I know that Escher was part of the rebellion and ended up wedding Strahd later. I know that Lutzmilla was an accomplished druid. I know that Alexandra was an esteemed, or no, Anastasia was an esteemed general. But you, I imagine by design, remain quite elusive. Why is that?
You can make your insight roll, your persuasion roll, your moxie roll.
I don't have skill ranks in Moxie.
Damn.
I will also do insight for this. I will re-roll that because I got inspiration from doing the recap. You're shitting me.
Oh no.
2 nat ones, baby.
Hold on. This is really funny. Someone could give Kat their inspiration, or you could use another inspiration.
If someone maybe wants to.
You have inspiration from reading notes. Did you use it?
Yeah.
I just used it.
Oof. Okay, yeah. Here, take one of mine.
Okay, thank you, bestie. 20.
Okay.
You know what?
So much better.
I think that was my major question, so I will also put knowledge from a past life on this one to try to bump it up higher.
Okay.
21.
Hey, I know. So this is when I thought it was funny. All right. I posted it in the VC text chat.
Oh.
But I will give you that. I will give you the 21 because it is higher than her like natural insight check back.
Yeah, because skill checks aren't necessarily auto successes.
Yes, I just thought it was funny to see a natural 1, a natural 20, and a natural 1 sandwiched. So your question was asking her like why she's so elusive.
Yeah, exactly. It's like why do you keep yourself so close to the chest? Because I know a lot about the other consorts, but you remain a mystery.
And you can see that she is very careful on moving around people, and at some point she will tell you to follow her lead and don't be scared. Which is very frightening to hear. Follow me, don't be scared.
The cat will smile and say, I am at your mercy.
She will cast fly on both of you.
Ooh.
And then start dancing upwards to be away from the ground level of people talking. For privacy's sake.
Fascinating.
That is one of her 4th level spell slots gone. Okay. And she is like at aside from you seeing her casting, like leading you guys upwards. She is also vaguely concentrating on 2 illusions of yourself and herself dancing on the sound floor or on the dance floor. There's just 2 of you. One in the air, one on the ground.
I love this.
And she goes, well, if you were home more often, you would know I own the library that your mother loves to commandeer.
I think I remember that, right? That was, yeah. Yeah, Cat will nod and say, oh, believe me, that's what drew me to dance with you. I knew you to be a woman of great intellect. But that isn't all there is to know about you.
I'm a practitioner in the arcane and exhibiting, just giving it away to the common folks so they can also learn basic minor. The amount of and then she gestured to just like the duplicates of you dancing on the floor. The amount of fun and necessity it is just to teach minor illusion to the folks so they could do something worthwhile like this, or merely clean up a shelf without the use of a cloth. I was taught by a very well-practiced mage who unfortunately lost her life and therefore passed her legacy down to me. And the Lord needed a specialist in different fields of the arcane that is not divination or enchantment.
DM, could I roll history to try to deduce who that mage was?
Yes, you can roll it out to advantage. Because you're from Valaki.
16.
16. The last 2 well-known mages, quote unquote, beyond Baba, who is still living, that are dictated in history was there was a witch who started the whole like revolution situation, that got stuck here in Barovia a long time ago and could not fight Strahd by herself, and therefore when more parties, adventuring parties, got sucked into the Misk, used them, rabbled them up, got the common folk to decide, like, this is the moment we strike a coup on the Lord of the Land and get rid of him good. And history dictates that she was either slain or clearly went into hiding. No one is really sure. The books in Vallaki says that she was slain. People of local Vistani and probably like the druids talk about that there is a mad witch in the mountains that could probably deal to it, but from what you're unsure if she's dead or not. And then the other prolific mage was that there was a wizard who used to belong to the Eladrins that occupy the Vistani camp in Vallaki. There was once two, like a prince and a princess of of nobility. They were basically king and queen, or not. None of them had the ability to be king or queen because none of them had wed out of their family.
Prince Regent?
Yeah. And so one of which was a very powerful ranger, and then the other one was a powerful wizard who made a deal with the Lord of the Land very long time ago of like allowing the Eladrins to take home on their land and like, you know, temporarily visit and what have you, set up camps and what have you as they're traveling through the valley. And the wizard was learning magic from the count, but mysteriously not mysteriously died, was killed by her own people at one point. And her gravesite is buried somewhere on Castle Ravenloft.
Got it. So I think Kat kind of racks her brain for a little while and says, I'm not sure exactly who it is, but your teacher must have been a controversial figure in Barovia's history, were they not?
You see, she thinks for a long moment, and you can see, because you have high perception. It's you and Ra who have the highest. You see that her gaze kind of looks down towards Rahidin, who is like in the corner of the dance floor. Not dancing, just kind of being typical bodyguard kind of shit and just keeping an eye on everyone. But also there is an obvious breath of no one is within 10 feet of him because of the horrors that y'all heard in the dining room. And she looks down at him, and you could follow her gaze to see him before she looks up at you and goes, yeah, pretty not confrontational, but she kind of was. Very tense conversation to have now these days.
Of course, of course. Please do not allow me to pry too much. But if you could indulge me one more question. Do you miss her?
Ooh. Okay, you're gonna make an insight roll.
Okay, you bet.
You're making an insight roll.
8. I don't think where Kat's head is at is like she doesn't care what the answer is.
Yeah.
She just wants to test Valenta.
You get a affirmative. No. She messed up. Died foolishly because of miscommunication. Caused lots of grief and bloodshed in her misguidance. And then I had to pick it all up, fix it.
And that condemns her in your mind.
And you see she nods. I may be one of undeath, and I am responsible for lots of bloodshed. But she made me far more responsible on trying to stop people from dying.
Nowadays, I often find I spend more time conversing amongst the dead than the living. And it is interesting the stories the dead will tell when afforded an opportunity.
I'm really debating if she reads that as a threat or not.
It's not meant as a threat.
I don't know. She's so in her head. So I think she just nods her head and goes, I would go prying. Unless you're curious.
Of course, of course. It's just... what a horrible thing it must be to pass on and not have your story be known. If you are ever of a mind to find closure, I can anchor that connection. I just need to know who to ask.
So I think it's not immediate. But you can tell that as she's done having this conversation, because you don't feel like the spell gets taken off of you. But there is a quickness in the way that you guys move back to the floor, and then she'll let you have the fly spell until she casts another concentration spell. But she will part ways from the dance, bow her head, and go, I appreciate whatever it is you are doing, but no thank you. Have a good night.
That is fine. Have a good night. I enjoyed our dance. And Kat leaves that conversation quite satisfied.
I think the general populace around can just see that there's like little scorch marks on the tile work that just get slowly cleaned off a little bit.
Just like as she's walking away, she's like
fuming.
scorching the tiles under her.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Angie. Angie little tiefling.
Hmm.
Getting a lot of juicy tea from my notes.
I know. This name was never said.
It was not.
Do I know, DM, the name of the elf?
You out of character? Yes.
I'm a character I know, but Kat does not know it.
No, I think you need to do a little bit more digging.
That's okay.
Or confining with the other Barovians in the group.
Yes. At the very least, I feel like it's fair to say that where Kat is at, specifically given the glance over to Rahadin, Kat is certain that the individual in question is not the Mad Witch of Mount Baratok. It is whoever this elfin woman is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I need.
I'm gonna dance with Rahid and see what happens. Don't. Or do.
Especially, like, no one should dance with Rahadin. Especially Kat should not dance with Rahadin.
I think he will. I think that would just be Cat would pass out, just being near.
That would be like, I'll tell you straight up, that would be instant affliction. I'm dancing with this guy who has the souls of, like, the tormented and the damned swirling around him. And I talk to ghosts, and they're all begging me for help, and I can't do this. This is too much.
It would be an affliction, or you would immediately get knocked out,
Or
or both. You know.
Yeah, I am satisfied with my dance.
Yay! I look at the time and I go, wow, that's one whole dance. This is gonna be 80 parts. Creepy was right.
It's gonna be wonderful.
It's gonna be wonderful. Yeah, because Sal has to go to work. We got 30 more minutes, basically. Otherwise, we could leave this here unless someone wants to do like a little scene.
I definitely don't have time to do a whole second round of
Yeah.
dancing.
No.
Yeah, I'm cool with like just picking this back up right here next session.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
also. This is a satisfying conclusion.
Yeah, I
tonight.
feel like if we try to do anything more, it's just going to end unsatisfyingly.
Yeah, it'd be one person gets to do one dance, and then we have to wait 2 more weeks for the other 5.
Yeah.
But it kind of cuts down because there was technically 6 dances. But Irene and Ismark are gonna dance with each other, so that eliminates one of the dances. So it's gonna hopefully be a little shorter, and then depending on who you guys. Okay. So right now, I wrote these all down so I could be ahead of the game because I am a true gamer. But Beth is dancing with Anastasia, who thinks she's Lyudmila. Okay. Do you guys want to call dibs on someone else you want to dance with? Strahd is now on the table to dance with.
Don't we have to work up to Strahd, or can we just call Strahd?
I nixed that part. I decided I didn't want to do that. Because everyone had different plans, and I was just like, eh. If you dance with all the brides, it would be more favorable to Strahd, because it's like, oh, you've been moving around the whole crowd. How do you like them?
I think Allegra would seek out her sister next.
Okay.
That's just next on her dance card.
Okay.
My initial plan was to dance with Strahd next, but since they had an additional conversation in the hallway, it is no longer necessary.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know.
Dance with your boyfriend.
No,
Alright,
he's at the end.
Ari could do Ludmilla next.
You could do Ludmilla, you could dance with the
For
cat.
the drama.
Ludmilla can tell you all about this hummingbird she found.
Ludmilla was going to be later in my lineup, but I mean, I could. If Kat didn't have plans, that could also work.
I was next looking at Allegra, but if Allegra is gonna do something, I could dance with Ra.
I mean, if you want to, I was about to say, if you wanted to dance with Allegra, Allegra would, but she did promise Vasilka a dance.
Yes, of course. There's gonna be a couple rounds of dancing. Kat danced with the one bride she was gonna dance with, which was Valenta, and extracted the information she wanted. I'll say, regardless of whatever the role was, Kat is convinced that Valenta does miss whoever this individual is, but because of their wrongdoings, feels guilty about it, so shuns the feeling aside. That's where Kat is at with that. But the only other people Kat wants to dance with are R.A., Lottie, and Allegra. So whatever order works best for everyone, that's what works for me.
Because the only other, like, the next 3 people on Allegra's dance card are Vasilka, Cat, R.A.
That would be perfect because then it'd be me or Ari Cat, Allegra Cat, Ari Allegra.
Yeah.
And during that time, Kat Lottie.
Yeah.
I wanted to dance with Allegra at some point. Allegra's on my dance card, even if I'm not on Allegra's dance card.
Do you want to blab with Valenta? Who's kind of fuming a little bit in the corner?
Does Valenta want some therapeutic gapping?
Maybe. Depends on what you yap about.
We did talk about Asher first, so I think I'm gonna give her time to cool down before I talk to her.
Eli's gonna dance with Asher. He's gonna
Yeah,
blab about, oh my god,
that.
he made a deal with RA. He's so excited about it.
Oh my god.
Okay, and then Kat
Oh my god,
and RA?
Sure.
Sure.
Get the Fae to talk about deals. It'll be fine.
Okay, so I have Kat and RA, I have Lottie and Escher, I have Allegra and Vasilka, and I have Beth and Aldestrasia, who thinks is Ludmilla.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know Beth is going through all the brides, so that's how I have it in
Every
my head.
single bride,
Yep.
that is the goal.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
after all of the brides, I have art of what Beth ends up looking like.
Yay.
Which is very pretty. I'm very proud of getting this. She is very tired. She will be very tired.
I high five Beth, and I'm dancing with every single bride.
Hell yeah. You get me.
Yeah, because Allegra is the only other bride Allegra wants to dance with is Ludmilla.
Yeah,
And that is for the
good luck.
purposes of
that is
for the purposes of not throwing hands totally. Absolutely never.
Sorry, I have a question that Ludmilla's going to talk to Allegra right off the bat.
Phenomenal.
Where is it? Okay. Here, I'll just show it to you. This is what I have for Ludmilla would ask. Specifically, I wrote, if Allegra asks Ludmilla to dance.
The response would immediately be, because she still has stakes on her fucking hip. Yes, absolutely, bitch. Let's go.
All right.
When did Allegra want to dance with Ludmilla?
Probably last. That's her last dance.
Great. Okay.
Oh
fine.
no.
I think that you guys will start off I don't even know if I would have like ability checks or anything. You guys would start off, that'd be the first thing Ludmilla says. You would say yes, and then Ludmilla would be like, all right, let's go to the garden.
I have to collect my fucking hammer first.
Yeah.
No.
Oh god. Wait, the hammer can change size, can't it?
Yeah.
Would she be able to conceal it in her little bandolier where her fucking stakes are?
Sure.
Yes!
Either way, she was going to be like, I can get a servant to go grab your shit, whatever you need, or you could borrow
my shield. I just need a shield.
Yeah. Like, just clap a hand towards a guard and be like, I'm taking this. Thank you. And then take their shield and be like, there you go.
Just, if you could have the shield that I borrowed returned to me, I'll fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Otherwise, you guys are doing non-lethal fisticuffs.
I mean, Allegra's not aiming to, like, straight up kill her anymore, because she knows that that's not... She didn't do it, supposedly. But she's still pissed.
Yeah, you can ask questions. Because it
could have been prevented.
Yeah, you can ask questions while you're throwing hands with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. This is perfect. I'm going to beat her ass.
Yeah, you can't murder Beth's new best friend.
I'm sorry, Beth, but I'm throwing hands.
Just don't kill her. I made her a promise.
Understandable. As a paladin, she would understand, but at the same time, fuck this bitch.
It's just gonna be so fun.
I'm going to
just-
fly above her where she can't catch me and swoop attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll go well.
Yeah.
She doesn't have anything to counter that.
No, absolutely. I know she does, but fuck it.
There's a very good druid spell that does take things out of the air
That's true.
and binds them to the ground.
Ooh, all that's
Binds
gonna do
them
is
to
piss
the-
her off more.
Binds them to the earth, one might say.
It might be earthbound. I think that's what the spell is called.
Earthbind.
Earthbind.
Almost like it's
Ooh.
earth stuck.
Why?
Oh, this is gonna be so fun.
Or just call lightning upon you and be like, yeah. Good job.
Oh, we're
Idiots.
having
Fucking-
chicken wings for dinner.
Call lightning divine smite.
What fun.
It's fun. It's great.
Maybe I'll just have to steal
Everything's
Ismark away from
fine.
the dance floor to get him away from all that.
All is well.
All is well.
Now that Escher's been taken care of.
Yeah, now you just have to get rid of the other public people who are gonna try to talk to Ismark and be like, congratulations, Burgomaster. Hey, let's strike a deal.
What if I bite them?
You can. You have some form of diplomatic immunity, being...
I feel like that would be a social faux pas a little bit. I would not bite them.
You bite Vargas's hand, and then Vargas is completely confused about what is happening. But also, you are now the wards of the village of Barovia, so whatever you guys do will represent the village of Barovia.
I feel like biting represents the village of Barovia perfectly. Actually.
Yeah, it's run by a
so-
wolf.
No.
Yeah, and there were zombies. So,
Sorry, I caught this in the village of Barovia hiss. Yeah. Okay, thank you all for entertaining this. We were talking out of character. I should have ended the stream earlier, but extra information, behind the scene nonsense. Yay!
little sneak peek.
Little sneak peek. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks, hopefully. We gotta pray that my jaw
Fingers
surgery
crossed.
will allow me to be functional, to speak a lot. Though luckily, most of you guys are partnered with each other. So that might give me some breathing points. But thank you for watching. We'll see episode 21 in 2 weeks from now. Otherwise, catch us on YouTube and yada yada yada. Bye-bye.
What?
Bye-bye.